Distinguished members of the Academy. My name is Golf House, and we are back on the mostly harmless SMP server. When last we spoke, we built out the giant glass slime farm entrance thingamajig, and we needed a name for it. Since we last spoke, I've gotten a number of interesting suggestions, some on YouTube, some on Twitter, and some just from chatting with the people on the server, and I think we have a name. So let me come back over here to our slime farm entrance. We'll get to this in a minute, and go ahead and name our slime farm. So I had a number of interesting suggestions from people, but it was Babylon Slim, the server owner, who came over to the unnamed Slime Emporium and said it reminded him of an Apple store. Now he's a little bit of an Apple fanboy. I'm not, but I'm not one to pass up the obvious reference when it's an obvious reference. So this is going to be Slime Jobs' iSlime Emporium. I think that will serve us nicely. Yeah. So since we last spoke, somebody has been going around the server building out these things that we saw over here. Ow. This is a surveillance drone, and as you can see, it's decided to stare into my house. Now, I had two suspects as to the creation of these things. One of them was Babylon Slim again, but I don't think it was him. He thought this was kind of a waste of nether quartz, and apparently there was one parked right outside his bedroom window, which kind of creeped him out a little bit, so he tore his down. The other person that I think might have been responsible for this is, of course, Knackjack, and this seems right up his alley as well. He also has a surplus of nether quartz. So I think it was him. And if we come out here into the open, you can see there's one up here hanging out. If we go into the nether, there's one there by the door. There's one here too. Our sounds are incredibly loud. That's better. But yeah, these little guys are all over the place, which is kind of interesting in a fairly creepy kind of way. So yeah, we're gonna have to do something about that. We actually owe Knackjack a Pranker 3 back for a couple of things. He's done this. He's I think the one responsible for those signs back there that he's watching, which may be an allusion to the surveillance drones. And yeah, then there's the whole sheep thing, lest we forget about that. We will never forget. So I have the feeling that his time is coming due. There's some things I need him to finish first before I can appropriately get him back for those things, however. In the last episode, I hinted that we had spoiled the release of this giant thing. It turns out we haven't, because that was another Babylon Slim creation, and he's not making videos yet. So I haven't really spoiled anything by announcing that tower's existence. I'm not going to go into too much detail about it. I'm going to try to get with him here in the next few days, maybe even in the next episode, and I'm going to have him kind of walk me around his builds. He's got a house back over there somewhere, which you can barely see anymore through all of the trees. He's got this thing. He's got a couple of other things on the server too. And I'd like him to maybe walk us around that sometime. So I'm not going to get into that just yet. What we want to do in this episode is go into the nether, because there is something that we need to accomplish. You'll remember in was it the last episode or was it the episode before? I think it was the episode before. We went ahead and we built out this little path. Now I would like to kind of pretty this up a little bit. You can see we've taken some hits from some ghasts in here, but I want to extend the road out past the nether portal, and I'll show you if I can jump up here where it is I want to take this particular road. Because if we come up here, we've talked before about the fact that we do have a nether fortress. It's right over there. You can see parts of it over here. There's a little sliver of it kind of hiding out in the nether rack there. What I would like to do is extend our tunnel, well, not really a tunnel, but build a tunnel off of this nether cage and take it all the way across there. I have a design in mind. It's going to require a lot of materials, because as you can see, that is not a short distance. It's going to take some time to do as well. So I think I'm going to do something that I've never ever done in a Minecraft video, and that is to do a time lapse. And I think that's going to turn out pretty well. Some ideas in mind for this tunnel, and like I just said, it's going to require a lot of material. So let's go back to the overworld and gather those things. Okay, so I've got my items all collected here in the chest. That is really loud, even with my sounds turned down. What can I do to... There we go. Let's get those guys out of the way. We still have some critters lying around. There's not a whole lot I want to do about that. Anyway, we've got our items here. I harbor no illusions about this actually being enough material to get us all the way there, but at least it's going to be enough to get us started. So the other thing that I want to do is I'm going to take off all of this stuff. I'm going to take off all of my gear. I'm probably going to need more room in the chest, aren't I? Yeah, let's put that back on while we go get another chest, because we are going to be kind of doing our thing kind of out over this lava lake here, and there are ghasts aboot, and I harbor no illusions about not dying during this either. So I'm actually going to take off all of our good gear. I will probably go get some leather gear just to provide my little guy there with some protection, but most of this we're going to get rid of, stick it in the chest so that if we die we don't lose it. So let me go ahead and knock this down, knock that down, get the first little bit of the shiny gray stuff, and I will go get myself a chest, put away all of our diamond gear, and then the only thing there is left to do is get to lapsing. so the basic tunnel is pretty much done, so I think we can retire our throwaway gear, swap it out for the good stuff, get some of our other tools back in place. I think I'm going to keep the iron pick out for just a little bit longer. We're still doing a little bit of grindy stuff. And yeah, the tunnel is now safe. We do still have the occasional ghast that sees us through the cracks and tries to shoot a fireball at us, but these slabs are keeping us protected. So it's looking okay, but it's not looking great yet. And I want this thing to look great. So I think what we're going to do, as you can see here, I've got some bricks here. Let's go ahead and seal that off as the entrance, and then I think what I'm going to do is go ahead and add some lights in here, because as you can see we are spawning zombie pigmen in here. They're not going to be a problem, but I'd rather not have them in here if I can avoid it. Hi. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 blocks, move over to this one here, punch that out, and let's grab us some light and stick it in. Now I'll have to go back up on the roof at some point and light these up, but that'll be a little bit later. So then we'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then this one is not going to be a light, but I don't know what it's going to be yet, so I'm just going to put in some nether rack there just to hold the place. So then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, move over 1, come up, and another light. So I just have to do that about, well, hopefully 7 more times, because that's all the lights that I have. And then we'll see how well lit this place is once we get these turned on. Okay, so we've managed to get quite a bit of work done. We do need to work on this little pathway a bit. You can see I've made it 4 wide down at the bottom. It's 3 wide up here. Really what I need to do is extend the, or widen the road this way and maybe take this part out, because it doesn't perfectly line up with our tunnel. You can see all of the flames around. We've been dealing with ghasts a lot while we've been doing this. We've also gone ahead and widened the nether portal here. It's now 3 wide, just so that it matches up well with the tunnel. So this part here all looks good. I've just got to get all of this here to kind of match up with it. We've gone ahead and we've turned on the lights, and you can see it's really brightened up the pathway here. Zombie pigmen are still spawning in here, and I don't know if that's because the algorithm for spawning pigmen doesn't take light into account, or if there's just areas in here that are a bit too dark. Those little netherrack spots we put in, I stuck some granite in there. That's a pretty nice touch. It's not too obvious, but it gives some definition. I've also gone ahead and I've added these columns here just to give you something to look at as you're running down the path. Once you get to the end of the path, you can see I've gotten a little bit more of this shiny gray stuff out to kind of make the turn here, and then I've gone ahead and added some steps up to, I see you. Anyway, I've added some nether brick steps up here just because that seemed to fit the build. Let's see if we can get this guy without hitting any pigmen. That's always the big challenge when you hunt these guys down, is missing the ghast and hitting a pigman instead and having to deal with that. You know what? He is too far away. He's not shooting at me. I'm not shooting at him. So anyway, that gives us the entrance that we need to come over to our nether fortress. And right now, this is our grand entrance into the nether fortress. A hole in the wall where we carved out some of this fence here. We're going to eventually do something about this. We're going to kind of clear this nether rack out and this gravel and make this an actual entrance worth coming into, but that's going to be for another day. This fortress is huge, and there's a lot of really interesting things about it that I'm looking forward to exploiting in future episodes. There's lots of really good areas for wither skeletons to spawn. We've got blaze spawners seemingly all over the place. So we're going to really be able to get some work done in this fortress and really make this a good resource for the server. Those are all projects for another day, however. I've spent so long in the nether that right now I just want to get back to the overworld, back to my house, and back to my comfy bed. And it looks like I'm going to be able to sleep soon. So I don't know if we'll do those things in the next episode or if we'll do something different. There is talk about hitting an ocean monument. Now that we have fast access to that fortress, we may go ahead and get some blaze rods and turn our ender pearls into eyes of ender and go stronghold hunting, because it's just about time to do that. So we've got a bunch of things going on the server. I can't wait to do all of them. I hit the wrong door. Much better. There's a lot of things to do, and I look forward to getting them done, and I look forward to having you along for the ride. So hopefully when the next episode comes out, you'll be ready for it too. If you've liked this video, go ahead and hit that like button. If you've really liked it, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. If you like me, stalk me on social media. I'm darn near everywhere, as this drone can attest to. And until next time, my name is Golfhouse. This has been Mostly Harmless. It's an honor just to be nominated.